Welcome to the Chamber Spotlight, a new talk show magazine podcast brought to you by the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce and the local scene. We'll be recording on a regular basis and we'll cover many topics that span local businesses, local elections, and local town governance. I'm your host, Fraser Townley, and today we're sitting down with Abby and Keith from Vitality. I've got that wrong, haven't I? Is it Vitality?
Vitality.
Vitality.
We are in South Shore and we're from New Hampshire and Maine, so it could be Vitality on here.
Yes, it could. You're all right. How very French of you.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Abby, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I have pretty much been around this type of environment for as long as I can remember, to be honest. Grew up playing sports, grew up got into powerlifting as an adult. So I got pretty competitive with that over the last couple of years. Over time, Keith and I met at the gym. Was it 2-3 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yep.
Time flies.
Time flies.
What's your best lift? What do you prefer? Deadlift, squats?
I am a big deadlift fan, yeah, but I actually hold a powerlifting world record in squats.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank
What's the
you.
weight?
400 pounds.
Kilos?
Oh, God.
Two-
We're
two
good at
something.
fitness. We're
Sorry,
not
we weren't
great at
talking
math.
French.
Yeah, we compete in the only federation that actually does pounds. Most do kilograms.
Yeah.
And that's intentional.
And you're the world record holder.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank
when
you.
When did you break the record?
That was April of
23?
last year. Was that
23.
last year? No.
2 years ago.
No, it was 24.
24.
Yep.
Same.
Okay.
I'm not great at numbers.
Time flies, like we said. It's easy to lose track, but
Right.
yeah,
Very good.
relatively recently.
Cool.
So yeah, we got serious with that, and our vision kind of spurred from both being powerlifters. We had 2 gym memberships. We used to drive to the next town over for our like recovery type of what do you call it?
Modality.
Yeah, different like this is like a different center that had cryotherapy and different things to make you feel good. And we were driving home one day and we were like, why has no one made a gym that just has all of it? Like we should not have to have 3 memberships. And then we were just kind of like, why don't we do that? So
Wait.
here we are.
Sorry. Let me correct my understanding. So you had various different memberships because the gyms weren't giving you the total package. So
Yep.
you were going one gym for breathing exercise. I don't know what.
So we
we
had one membership that was like specifically a powerlifting gym. So
right.
had what we needed for that, which is definitely a little bit different than like your Planet Fitness or your other commercial gym, you name it.
Yeah.
And then we had another membership that was also for like more machine-based work, which we like to incorporate as well, just for kind of a change of stimulus. And then we also had that recovery
Right.
center that we went to from time to time.
Very cool.
So
And Keith, what's your world record?
Watching Abby do hers.
Can you lift the weight she lifts?
I'm no.
No.
Let's just cut the answer short. I competed in what was called geared lifting. So I wore all these fancy suits and, canvas that, helped me push through levels that I couldn't do.
Right.
So my best squat is a little bit higher. But that's because I had all these protective things keeping me safe. Abby's just raw strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a power lifter, we were talking about, I transitioned from wall lifting, which is not using any of that stuff, to gear lifting, just because I like the heavy weights and pushing myself a little bit too far.
Mhm.
I started out with like a bodybuilding background. Got my degree in exercise science. Just fell in love with kind of like movements and understanding contractions and how the body works to transition through all that stuff. Powerlifting kind of became an outlet. Just understanding that strength training and all, and just lifting something heavy off the ground or putting it on your back just was a mental release. So like Abby was saying, where we had the 3 memberships, all encompassing different parts. Some doing bodybuilding stuff, some doing powerlifting. We always focused on recovery. I will admit that I was not living the most healthiest lifestyle until I met Abby. So I might have been pushing myself a little too hard, but she taught me more about like the stability, mobility, things that we emphasize now in our facility, and especially the recovery part. So, I'm blessed that she came into my life and
Mhm.
and kind of got me feeling good. And that's something that we try to pass on and teach to other people.
Cool.
It's one of those don't make the same mistakes that I made kind of thing.
Yeah, that's actually something that I wanted to come on to in terms of the benefits. But let's just talk a little bit about the business. I think
Mhm.
you're leading to the fact that you were used to, or you identified that you needed 3 different gyms to go
Yeah.
to. You're trying to pull that all together with Vitality.
Yep,
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
So what we were going to was a cryotherapy place that had also compression boots and other things to work your muscles or treat them in a way that made you feel good. That wasn't your traditional massage or physical therapy or treatments that people are used to. This was kind of like newer treatments, so it was great for us, and it was an eye opening experience. So, like Abby was explaining, we were feeling this, and we're like, this is something we need to encompass into our training and to teach to other people. So,
Yeah.
like she pointed out, why not bring this all into one place? Because I think a lot of people, like I just said, myself included, that we don't understand that the recovery portion of fitness is equally and sometimes even more important than the training part.
Mhm.
Training can kind of fall into a backseat to nutrition and recovery. If you're not fueling your body well and recovering well, then what you're doing for those hours or the rest of the week, I won't say doesn't matter, um, but you're not recovering to get the growth or weight loss, muscle gain, whatever your goal is. So we decided to bring that all together so that we could teach people this is important.
Yeah,
sure.
Don't skip this part.
And
Yeah.
you've got compression boots.
Oh my god,
They're amazing.
I just posted on Instagram the other day that I had a little free time in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to creep upstairs when nobody's here. I'm going to toss those on and sat there for a half hour, just make myself feel better.
Yeah. Have you ever used them before?
I've not used them for a series or a series of therapy.
Yeah.
But I did try them on at a different place, and
Yeah.
I heard therapy compression boots, and I thought, oh, okay, let's give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And they put them on, and it was an interesting experience. So,
Yeah.
but I don't think I benefit from them because I just put the pressure up and then took the pressure down and got out of them.
Yeah,
But-
so pretty much how it works is it inflates with air
Mhm.
as you go. So there's different zones to the boot, and they pretty much go up like your whole leg. It's like this huge thing. They feel a little ridiculous when you first put them on, but and then as they inflate with air, and then as they deflate with air, it's rhythmic and it's made to almost feel kind of like a massage in a way. Just kind of a little bit of a weird one, but it's supposed to help with lymphatic drainage, reducing swelling when you're injured, just overall recovery, helps get rid of that metabolic waste, flush that all out, and delivers oxygen back into your muscles so that you're recovering faster day to day.
So is this for runners, weightlifters, or just
Anybody.
anybody that's...
Yeah.
But they only do boots.
No.
Is there a
No.
torso?
No.
There are
Arms.
hip attachments and there's arm attachments. In the future, we're looking into kind of broadening our recovery zone, and that's where we'd like to expand. We'd like to get the arm attachments. I think we're 50-50 on the hip attachments, to be honest. We tried them.
I'm sold.
And we didn't love them. They were just a little bit too similar to the boots, to be honest. The boots are so, they cover so much of you that you almost get the same thing out of them.
Right.
I don't know.
So one thing you'll catch on to quick is that we're science nerds. We're constantly reading, we're constantly researching. We like to treat, not things that we saw off Instagram or Facebook, saw other people doing. We like to go with what the National Academy of Sports Medicine says. What was it, CSCS for you? What would be your governing body?
It would be the NATA,
NATA.
National Athletic Training Association.
Yeah. So we like to go what they say for recommendations. And what we're finding is a lot of back problems. So say there's a person that they can come into our facility that they just are a worker that they're on concrete all day.
Mhm.
Probably statistically, they're going to have lower back pain. And that's probably going to stem from their feet up. So we focus on movement patterns, but also in that recovery part, just working on their legs might relieve some of that stress that's going into their back. So we kind of started with the more common modality, and we're going to branch off, like Abby was saying, into more of the relaxation stuff.
So Vitality,
Mhm.
the gym, and I've been to the gym. It's quite impressive.
Thank you.
There was also a pretty decent sized cake there for people. So we're going to talk about diet in a minute.
Balanced lifestyle.
Right. But so if I was, if I wanted to get fit or to lose weight,
Mhm.
I could come to you. But it's not just about getting fit and losing weight. There's also recovery, is this word that you keep using.
Yes.
And I'm getting the sense that, so could you come to you and you would help with an injury, or not necessarily a serious injury, but like a work-related, as you said, you're working on concrete all
Right.
day, you've got fatigue or whatever, you can help with that as well. So anyone listening in
Right.
can come to
Yeah.
you for, you don't have to go, oh no, I don't want to go to the gym. Oh no, I don't want to diet. But I still have these problems that I need help with. They can come to you.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So, like we mentioned, like recovery and nutrition, it doesn't seem like it's been a big thing that people have talked about until the last, I don't know, 5 years.
5 years.
It seems like up until that point, it was really work out as much as you can, get
Mhm.
your results. Nobody really talked about how much really goes into that. There's so much more to it. You can go to the gym and you can train 3 days a week, which is great. But, there's that classic term, you can't out exercise a bad diet. So
We've tried.
we've
So
tried
have I.
it. We've tried it. We haven't found a strategy that works yet. But we kind of wanted to encompass everything. So, like there's those gyms that will promise you results. And, we don't want to promise people that they're going to train 3 times a week and then see the results without doing their homework. So where we come in is we are able to hold people accountable and give them the full package of what's actually going to get those results. So like we're not only just going to take you through workouts that are designed just for you and your body and your goals.
Mhm.
We're also going to talk about what your nutrition looks like. We're going to talk about how much you should be eating, the quality of those foods. And we're also going to teach you how to recover in between workouts and kind of walk that line of doing enough so that your body gets what it needs to stimulate muscle growth, but without overdoing it to the point where your body is actually putting itself at risk for injury, and causing some not so great effects that can come with overtraining.
Right. So the difficult part of what we do too is we have to balance between diagnosing and
Mhm.
treatment. So Abby's a licensed athletic trainer. I'm a personal trainer with a degree in exercise science. So we can treat until a certain point, but if we evaluate a movement and it looks like something, or there's extreme pain or numbness and tingling, we can't diagnose, but we can refer out. And we've been around town talking to every physical therapist. We've established some pretty solid connections, so we're able to refer to people that we trust. I think trust us in return, and we'll ask people, your physical therapy's done, but you know what? You need a little bit more guidance. You're just not at the point where, you can join a place where you're on your own.
Mhm.
So they're actually possibly referring to us.
Yeah.
So we've established that trust with doctors that they believe in us as much as we believe in us, that we can help people bridge that gap.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're not a replacement for PT or anything like that. But, my personal career background, for the last 8 years, I worked at a facility where we primarily worked with people coming out of physical therapy. They were getting discharged, and then they had, depending on what their injury was, they had this gap of time where they're like, okay, well, I don't want to train and then go back to where I was. Injuries don't just pop up for no reason. They want to make sure that they're training in a way that's not going to worsen their condition or anything like that, wind themselves back up in PT. We don't want that. So basically, most of my career was working with people coming out of that and just working to rehab them, focusing on not only what they were rehabbing, but also taking the full body into it. And through my time there, mostly we found a lot of core weakness, a lot of glute weakness, just a lot of different patterns that we can pick up on in terms of like, okay, this hurts. Well, the body is a huge chain that's connected to each other. So it makes sense.
Hopefully.
So we can see, hopefully connected to each other.
No, so what I'm hearing is vitality is not just about the exercise and the diet, which is vital, but it's also about the recovery. And you are going to be professional enough to say, wait a second.
Right.
You can't do this.
Yeah.
You should do this, and you should go here, and you should, which I think is critical. I actually don't think there's very many places on the planet actually that will have that level of care throughout the whole process.
Thank you.
So let's just talk about the benefits. So it's obvious the physical benefits of eating healthy and exercising, but tell me something a little bit, or share with everyone that's listening. What is the mental benefit of being?
Yeah. So we're also part-time therapists.
Okay.
And the great
unofficially, of course.
Unofficial, off the record.
So is the person who cuts my hair, but I mean,
Exactly. So it's a lot
thing,
like that. Yeah. And something that's special about our facility too is that it's only Abby and I. So there's not 10 other trainers that are trying to find spots in that space. So it's pretty much private or semi-private. The worst thing is you're going to have somebody for another half hour sharing that whole space with you.
To clarify, though, we're only ever working one-on-one with someone. So if it's like, when Keith says semi-private, it's not like you're going to be sharing us with somebody else. We only do one-on-one to ensure that we can give that one-on-one instruction and the time and energy that everybody deserves to have, making sure that everyone gets the best experience.
Right. So in that privacy, you are one-on-one with somebody that you're establishing a relationship with. And building a rapport with, and we're going to be texting, holding you accountable, and hopefully, if something great has happened, you text us and let us know. So it's definitely about establishing a relationship, and we're fully invested in all aspects of their life. How's work going? How's your home life? You told us that you were going away on vacation. How was that? Let's talk about that for 5 or 10 minutes. We're there to understand the person and then take their goals, take their needs, and then make that our top priority. But also keep that in mind and work with them where if we notice that, hey, you're usually super happy when you walk in and you're a little off today. So not call them out openly, but pull them aside and be like, is there anything I can do? I noticed that, you're not quite yourself this morning. Did you wake up late? Not go to bed too early? Or no, never. Nobody ever goes to bed too early. Why would I say that? Did you go to bed too late? Not enough coffee this morning? Stuff like that. So it's definitely developing relationships.
Yeah. We want to get to know our clients so we know, just from a personal standpoint of, we genuinely want to know how you're doing and how you feel about this whole journey and the things that you go through. So much of it is having a solid support system. And I think it's so underestimated how much of a difference that makes. Just having people around you that understand, that have been there, that, we've certainly been there, you're unhappy with your body or something hurts or, all the above. How hard that is just day to day. You wake up and you feel different every day and you never know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day or somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's so important just to have people that understand what you're going through and, you can talk to openly about this stuff and just, even if you just want us to listen and you just go off, sure. Or maybe give a bit of advice if they're open to hearing it, depending on what that person needs at that time. But not only do we want to know, the personal stuff, but it also affects your recovery. If someone is coming in and they're going through stuff and they're super stressed, I have a certification in sleep stress management and recovery. So we can give you some tactics for even dealing with the sleep stuff, the stress stuff.
Which is a critical component. I mean, sleep.
Right.
I know
Huge.
enough. I don't know enough, but on this, it's obviously the diet, it's the exercise, the recovery, and the sleep. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, you're not helping with that recovery, which is not helping with your next phase of your exercising and what have you.
Right.
I'm not the expert. Please just
yeah, and that's really what brought us to here, kind of just reiterating, it can be so overwhelming to, okay, so I have these goals, but like, how do I get there? We go into a gym, I go to Planet Fitness, but like, okay, well, who am I going to ask for help on my nutrition? Like, what if I have questions along the way? What if something hurts? Stuff like that. It's really big to have a resource where you can ask truly anything, and we have a little bit of expertise and a lot of bit of expertise, honestly. Like we've been doing this for quite a
Coming
while.
across. Trust me.
But you can have those resources of like, a little bit of all of your questions. And it's not just like, oh, well, you'd have to talk to your nutrition coach about that. We are your everything coach. So like you can ask us anything in terms of how it relates, because they all interact with each other.
A one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But back to the mental health benefits of being fit, mental health benefits of exercise, diet, recovery. I mean, this is something that it's in the public psyche right now. Mental health is a big conversation piece. And you can be contributing to the mental health of the nation if people follow what you're subscribing to, which is healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, healthy recovery, and a good night's sleep.
Right. Yeah. So that's 100% on point. Everything you just said was accurate.
Thank you. We can end now. No, sorry.
Yeah, we can just clap and there we go. He's tired. So correct. Mental health is, I think all three of us will agree that.
Yeah, we just passed Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. We just passed through that.
Right.
It's definitely, like you said,
How did we pass through it? Which month was that?
Well, we didn't pass through it, but
no, it passed by.
Right. There we go. So mental health, there's so many physiological changes that happen in strength training. The mental benefit, like we were talking about earlier when we were doing our introductions, that's the whole reason why I got into this part of it. Depression, anxiety, panic disorders, things like that. So a conversation I had with one of my friends from our old gym, where we both were dealing with separate issues regarding mental health. And we're like, why the heck would we choose in our panic and like OCD and ADHD and all that stuff? Why would we choose to put hundreds of pounds on our back, try to squat to depth, and then stand up from that?
for fun.
Like for fun. Like we're paying $150 to enter these meets, X amount of thousands of dollars for the equipment for it, a year of training, all for one day. But what we came up with in discussion is it is in a lift, 16 seconds that you are out of your mind. Like not crazy, but like out of your mind, that you're not focused on your breathing, how you're feeling anxious wise. You are focused 100% on how your body's moving, how muscles are contracting, where you are in space. You don't even notice the people around you. Abby could be yelling at me, commands and things like that. I wouldn't even hear it because I am so focused on what I'm doing. So our goal is to, teach people that it's okay. Like you will get through this next hour of your life. So you're going to feel uncomfortable. And honestly, in the gym, we have banners that say embrace discomfort, because in discomfort is when change happens. If you just continue to live the lifestyle you've been living, then change isn't going to happen. Obviously, you came to us, you reached out to us, you emailed us for a reason. So in that discomfort is when we grow. So getting through that mental portion of this is horrible. I feel tired, like I'm sweating, I'm all these things.
Yeah.
Just do one more rep.
Yeah.
Just do one more rep.
It's not always going to be easy. You're not always going to be like, oh, this is just a super fun little workout. Do our Instagram workout. That's not what this is. We want you to get better and we want you to achieve your goals. But there is something to be said mentally for thinking that you can't do something, thinking you can't do those last few reps. With what we do with powerlifting, thinking there's no way I can squat 400 pounds. And then standing up and doing it, doing those last few reps, like saying, oh, no way I can lose that weight. And then, achieving that milestone and keep going with it. That's huge. And, even just building self-confidence and believing in what your abilities truly are when you're faced with challenges.
And I think what I found over my career too is somebody will come in with one specific goal, and then through working and building through that, and they feel that relief, like, oh my God, I did this. Like I made it through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so what are we doing next? And they will come up with another goal like that. And then we'll work through that goal. And then it's like, all right, what's the next step? And they'll come up with something else. So it teaches, goal setting. It teaches lifestyle changes. It teaches patterns. It's all things that long-term will continue to a healthier mental state. Like we said earlier, we like part-time therapists, but not licensed.
I understand.
But
you know what? If you come in, you vent to us for 5 minutes on like, this is what sucks about today.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, let's get to it. And we do our workout and you feel better after. And it's just kind of,
Let's talk about some of your success stories. What was the worst condition somebody came to you in, and where did you get them to?
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can
So
go
there
first.
are those stories out there.
Oh my! There's
Depends. How much time do we have?
So I was working. I owned a separate I co-owned a separate personal training studio a decade ago. I don't remember at this point. Where we primarily worked with weight loss, and I worked with what became a friend over the years to help her lose. It was close to 200 pounds.
Wow.
Over the course of years.
Yeah.
And really it was pushing her through workouts and, talking to her a little bit about her nutrition, but she took it in working and creating that relationship. She took it so seriously that she was coming to me with recipes. She was sharing me her success story. So I love to say I had a hand in it.
Yeah.
But ultimately it falls back on the person,
Of course.
But it's mind-blowing to me to be able to say that I helped somebody lose 200 pounds. And to this day, like we still stay in touch. And that was over a decade ago, and she's kept the weight off.
Wow.
Like she's changed her whole lifestyle. And living and much, much happier, and feels great now.
Yeah, of course.
Still a decade later. So for me, I think that's one of like the more like heartwarming, touching that I'll never forget in my career.
Sure.
I've helped people with tons of strength goals, but I think that's like the one that if you were to, like you just said, you asked me that question, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget helping somebody lose that significant of weight.
And I think it's really important for the business that you're not trying to run, but you are running. Because when I visited Vitality, and I visited during a time when you were celebrating your opening and we were doing the ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce. And you put on a great spread, and I joke about the size of the cake. It was a very tasty looking cake, and it surprised me. It was like, wow! But you sat down and you took the time to explain to me the reward and the fact that you can deviate, you can go off the reservation every now and then.
Yeah.
But the impression I got from your business was it wasn't about hardcore training. I mean, you talk about lifting, but you don't have to come to your place and lift. There are all sorts of other ways of getting physically fit. But it's not just about the physical fitness. It's about the nutrition. It's about the mental health. It's the full package, which is, to me, the most impressive thing about your business. It's not a regular gym. It covers every aspect. So, Abby, you were going to tell me your success story.
Oh man,
and it can't be about yourself or remember
oh shoot, let me think of another one.
World records.
No, honestly, it's a really hard question for me because I've been in this career for 8 years, and I've worked with so many different people. Just from a rehab standpoint, like I said, most of it was
what's the
people
hardest
coming out of PT.
What's the toughest sort of client? Are they the people that are feeling they have to do it because of their own physical health, but don't really want to commit? Are they difficult to deal with? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. I was gonna. You kind of took the words out of my mouth.
I'm sorry.
The people that don't want to be there. There's, even before I would occasionally encounter the person that saw the value of doing it and still came in. They hated it. They didn't want a strength train. they wanted to work hard to an extent, but really just didn't enjoy it. And it's tough. I get it. You don't want to do things that you don't want to do, but there is a difference between still doing it and getting past it and understanding like this is going to help me in the long term of feeling good. And that's something, honestly, like that particular person, I always applaud her for it, because she would come in and she'd be like, I totally don't want to be here. Like, this is just not my thing. Like, fitness is not my thing. Yeah. And she still showed up. She was, I don't think she ever really missed appointments either. It's crazy. But, she would come in and yeah, she'd complain here and there, but we all do. And she would get through it and, cool, we live to see another day. Just knowing that it was the best thing for her body to keep moving and stay active. And the more that you take care of yourself, the better longevity you're going to have with your body and your mind throughout your life. We don't want to get to 7 years old and not be able to move. Like we always say, we're like, God, we can't be those people that are like in wheelchairs, at 75, 80 years old that didn't take care of themselves. We're like, so much what we do is movement. And, obviously that changes as you get older, and your goals might change. Your goals might be more strength-based when you're younger. And then as you get older, when you're 70s, 80s, your goals are maybe just stay mobile, be able to reach the top shelf of your cabinets. That's the word I was looking for.
Do you ever get clients that are the opposite of that, who are coming in and they're avidly trying to build something that shouldn't be there, and I want to be stacked?
Yep.
I mean, how do you deal with customers or clients like that? Do you discourage them? Or?
No,
we don't discourage anyone.
No, our goal is to educate, honestly. Right. And the biggest like way that we see that, honestly, is people that come in and they're like, I want to lose weight and I want to get toned. So like we kind of like cringy like words is like getting toned, because you think of getting toned. So like, for example, what do you think if someone was saying to you, I want to get toned, what's your mind go to?
I know the answer to this question, by the way, but I would imagine most people are thinking that they've got some chiseling in their torso and some definition in their arms, and bit of this is missing.
Right.
So what's your...
Yeah, so everyone seems to think, and just the consensus that I've gotten from the people that I've worked with is, everyone uses this catch-all toned to kind of describe like, being really lean and, having just the right amount of muscle definition. And it's like this weird mystical thing that kind of, I feel like to an extent, sometimes means something different to when you go person to person.
A conversation we were having yesterday, though. So we met with somebody last night. Something that is starting to become, thank goodness, is finally starting to catch on, is that more female clients are coming to us saying that they want to put on muscle. And that is, hallelujah, thank goodness, it's finally catching on, because forever it was women are supposed to walk around with like the slim physique, and it was just a social standard.
Yeah.
Now
we want to be skinny.
It's finally that women are understanding, look, that's fine and dandy, but I also want to be strong. I want to do all those things that Abby was just explaining, but they understand in order to do that, they have to put on muscle. So that takes away a conversation that we have to have, that they're walking in the door just saying, this is what I want to do. And we're like, that is an excellent goal.
Yeah.
Let's push that goal.
Yes.
And I think in the past too, for people that have come in a little too ambitious, I don't want to give away my personal training secrets, but I'm going to drop one secret. Sometimes I will let them just burn out during that first workout. Halfway through the workout, and when they're just dripping with sweat, and they're not to a point of unsafe, but they've pushed themselves so hard, so fast. And I'm like, so let's sit down. Let's have some water now. Do you need a piece of candy for some fast acting sugar? And like Abby was saying, we'll educate. That's when we'll say, look, this is why we have to take a step back. This is why we have to go slower through the movement. You're not feeling it where you're supposed to, because you're not focusing on contractions. So it's kind of like when we're a kid and we're doing silly things that we didn't ask our parents first, but it's kind of like a lesson that you learn quickly that, okay, these are the professionals. They know what's going on. So I'm going to pay attention now.
And that's a metaphor for like everything that we stand against when people say they want to lose weight. Like, you see these like fad diets, you see the, Instagram reels that tell you exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
There's all these different standards of, what's going to get you the results. And all of them pretty much resolve around, jump into it head first as fast as you can. And you always have to be on track all the time. And if you eat one piece of candy, like you're doomed, you might as well just quit.
Yeah.
And we are very much about balance and doing things the right way and making sure you're building healthy habits over time so that you can still enjoy your life. Just going back to like, if you dive headfirst into that, you're going to burn out. You're going to run out of steam. Eventually, something's going to set you off track and you are going to dive bomb.
You'll put the weight back on as quickly as you lost it.
Exactly, yeah.
If you're not
Faster.
careful.
Yeah.
Faster.
Yeah. Well,
For sure.
It certainly works with me. It's expect a year to lose a pound and then a minute to put it back on again.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Good. So we've talked about the benefits of your company, Vitality, and the benefits or the importance of sleep and diet and recovery. How do people get in touch with you guys?
So they can go through our website. It's I was about to rattle off our email, but that works too, actually. It's Vitality Fitness and Recovery, AND, not the symbol, .com. Or they can email info@vitalityfitnessandrecovery.com. There's also a phone number on our Google profile if they prefer to call. Basically, how everything starts is we set up an introductory meeting. So they just come in. We just want you to see the gym. Let's just talk about your goals, what you're looking for, and just see if it's a good fit. Like, make sure that you're comfortable because you're never going to go to a gym that you're not comfortable at.
And where is the gym?
So we're located in Pembroke. So we're right off of exit 27. Just like barely in Pembroke. We're almost in Marshfield.
Yeah.
You're in Pembroke. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're opposite Tomasi's.
We've only moved here like 2 months ago.
Right across the street.
Right. You're across the street from Tomasi's
In Corporate Park.
Corporate Park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Oak Street?
It's actually Corporate Park Drive.
Okay.
You're 20 Corporate Park Drive.
Yeah.
I believe you're unit 100.
We are.
Wow, look at you. That's
Come
great.
on.
That's
been
perfect.
Studying.
Yeah.
And all the details you just said are printed on your door. So
Yes.
if you're in the area, Corporate Park, you see the Vitality sign and you want to have details, it's there on the door.
Yeah, and we are appointment only. So at least for right now.
Yeah.
So definitely we like to schedule things just so that, like, again, we want to be able to give someone the attention they deserve. So even if it's someone that just wants to come in for a tour, we want to be able to like sit down with you and make sure that we have the time to give you our undivided attention and talk to you about those goals and talk to you, make sure you see everything that we have to offer. We don't want to brush over anything. We don't want to be in the middle of working with a client and then have someone just stop in and we're, kind of running back and forth. And we're like, hey, this is the gym, like, give us a call. That's not personal. And that's not, it's already off the bat showing that we don't, value the one-on-one stuff, which is everything that we stand for. So we want to make sure that we have the time to sit down with that person and really get to know them. And then from there, when they sign up, we do a movement assessment. So that would look like, that's a nice voice crack. It would step on our in-body. So we do have an in-body scale. Basically, it takes your weight and then breaks it down into everything you could ever want to know about your body.
Yeah, a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, it is super, super accurate. It's a really cool kind of toy that we have. And it tells you, what does it tell you? Muscle mass.
Yeah, muscle mass, water, body fat percentage.
Is this BMI?
That's
It tells you
horrible.
BMI, but we hate it.
Yeah.
We hate it. I would love to just throw that out the window.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not accurate.
So what it does is it uses electrical current to bioimpedance to measure the fat and muscle in your body, but also gives us a more accurate way of keeping track. So if the scale's going up, sometimes that's okay because you've put on
For sure.
Yeah, 3.
No, I know. I know. I think I told you the story.
You did.
I lost 20 pounds
Yep.
5 years ago doing a 90-day cleanse. But I actually lost more than 40 pounds when they did the body fat ratio and whatever it is. But I'd lost 40 pounds of fat. But I don't know. What does that? It means I gained 20 pounds of muscle. Yes, it must do, because I lost 20 pounds in total.
Okay.
Getting very personal now,
Yeah.
but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so time for you to give back. Why be a part of Pembroke Chamber?
Because we want to be a part. So something that we didn't explain is we just moved from Dover, New Hampshire to we live in Weymouth now in April. So part of what we want to do is not only, help our members or clients, we want to give back to the community. So is it Buddy and Friends? Is that
Buddy and Friends, yeah, the animal rescue.
Yeah, so we've gone over there and, played with the dogs a little bit. We want to be a part of the community. So if we're going to have a business there, if we're going to, talk to all the people and, go in and talk to other people's businesses, we want to make it more successful. We want to help the citizens. We want to help all the surrounding towns. So we have people that we're working with right now that ended up not signing up, but we're still helping promote their, nonprofits or a business that they own. So it's not about, yes, it's about growing our business as well, but it's about promoting the things in the town that we pick to have our business in and make that more substantial. Whatever value we can bring to the table, we're going to bring it 100%, and just fully commit to being a part of it.
Very cool. We like having you as members of the chamber.
Thank you.
Again, the cake was awesome.
I feel like we're going to have cake every time we go to the chamber.
Please don't. So thank you today for participating, Abby and Keith of Vitality. And thank you to everybody who's tuning into this podcast. This podcast will be available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, with additional links to our Facebook page. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the Chamber, please go to the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce website, pembrokechamber.org. And thank you again.
Thank you so much.